Okay, so now we have our mini games displaying, but we have hard coded them. And what that means is we have directly said, like, this is going to be the mini game name, and we've directly put in the image. We don't want this to be how it runs. We want it to grab these values from a database and figure out how many mini games there are by doing that. So the database that we're going to be using is called Firebase. So we're going to go to Google and we're going to type in Firebase. And this is a free database created by Google. Click this Firebase console and make sure that you're logged in on your email. So it should say create a project. We're going to click add project because I already have one. Enter your project name. I'm going to type in arcade-tutorial-bl and then click continue. Select an account, default account, and then create account. So then we'll just wait a minute for it to create our project. Okay, so once that happens, click continue and it'll bring you here. We are going to start setting up login. So we're going to handle login here as well. So in order to do that, we need to connect our Ionic app to Firebase. So let's see. Get started by adding Firebase to your app. We're going to click web. And then our web app is just called arcade-tutorial-bl. Register app. Okay, and now it wants us to take all of this information and add it to our head of our HTML. However, we're using Angular, so we don't have a head. Things are adjusted a little bit differently. So we're going to be installing Angular Firebase. It's actually called Angular Firestore 2, I believe. And we're going to type in Node Package Manager, or NPM. And we're going to click the Angular Fire 2-npm. Oh, it says Angular Fire has moved. We're now Angular Fire. Okay, so we're going to go back and click the top one. And it says to do ng add, but because we're using Ionic, it's a little bit different. So we're going to click, or we're going to type in Control-C to stop our server from running. And we're going to type in npm install at Angular -fire. And then hit enter. And then we're just going to wait. It's going to install Angular Fire for us. Now we have to include it in our app module. You don't necessarily need to know what I'm doing at this point. All you need to know is that we've installed it, but now we need to add it to our app module to say, grab this thing that we've installed. So we're going to type in import Angular Firestore module from Angular Fire / Firestore. Then import Angular Fire database module from Angular Fire / database. And then finally import Angular Fire auth module from Angular Fire / auth. Now we're going to want to put all of these things in our imports. So just find your last import and type in comma, then Angular Fire module, comma, Angular Firestore module, comma, Angular Fire database module, and then Angular Fire auth module. Okay, awesome. So what we've essentially done is said, okay, we're going to import these modules that we've downloaded into our project as soon as we load the app. Now we're going to go to this environments folder, and you're going to see this environments.ts. So we have a variable called production equal false. We're going to have another variable called Firebase, colon, curly brackets, enter. And now we're going to go back to here, and we're going to grab our API key, and then we're going to copy all that stuff into here. So it wanted us to do a bunch of stuff, but because we're using Angular, rather than including it using these scripts, we installed Angular Fire, which will automatically convert it for us. And so now we've created this environment variable that will have all of our Firestore info. So don't share this data with anybody else because they will be able to edit your project directly. Of course, I don't care if you edit my project directly because by the time this tutorial's up, I'll never really need to use it again. But please don't do that. So yeah, don't give anybody else this data. Then we're gonna go back to our app module, and where we import Angular Fire auth module, I believe, yeah, we're gonna type in dot initialize app, and then in brackets put environment dot Firebase, and then we're gonna hover over environment, and I'll say we cannot find the name. We're gonna click quick fix and then import from environment. Make sure it's not from the prod one. Now this says property initialize app does not exist on type of Angular Fire auth module. Oh, so this is not supposed to be on the auth module. This is just supposed to be on the Angular Fire module. Okay, and then we're gonna hit enter just so that this is a little easier to read. There. So you'll see here we have this Firebase.initialize app, Firebase config. And this is Firebase config. So we're essentially doing that right here. We're just saying grab our Angular Fire module, initialize the app using environment.firebase. So you'll see we have this variable here called environment, and it has a property of Firebase. So it's going to send this Firebase data into here, and it will automatically connect us to Firebase through the internet. So now we're going to test this out and make sure that we're connected to Firebase. So we are going to type in cd source, cd app, cd services, and then ionic generate service user dash auth. Okay, so that's already done. So we're going to open our services. We're going to see user dash auth. Before we continue in our user auth service, we need to install one more thing. So we're going to type in npm install Firebase at 4.3.0 and then click enter. And we'll wait for this to install. Okay, once it's finished, we can type in import Angular Fire auth from Angular Fire /auth, and then import auth again from Firebase /app. Okay, so next we're going to create an instance of our auth. So we're going to type in public auth Angular Fire auth. And I know that's a scary word, but basically, because we've installed Firebase into our project, we can now type in auth and then use a bunch of Firebase's auth features, such as creating a new user and logging in and other stuff. So we're going to make sure we're connected by clicking this create user with email and password. And then we're just going to type in like test@hotmail.com and then test. And then we're going to hit a semicolon. And now this is not going to get called automatically because our user auth service won't be called. However, in our mini games list, we're going to go to our constructor and we're going to type in user auth. colon user auth service. And if you hit enter, it will auto import. If you did not hit enter and didn't auto import, then you just type this in up here. And because we've imported our user auth service into our minigame page, when we load our minigame page, it will automatically trigger our constructor code. And it will try to create a user with email and password with test@hotmail.com. So that was a lot of stuff. So let's try and refresh our page after rebooting our server. Okay, so we're getting an error. And what I think has happened is it didn't install the latest version of Firebase. So we're going to try this again. npm install Firebase at latest instead of 4.3.0. I thought that was the newest one, but it might have been updated since the last time I used it. So we'll wait for that to install again. Now we will run Ionic serve again, and hopefully that fixes the error. Okay, so that did work. That's good news. Let's check our console. The given sign-in provider is disabled for this Firebase project. Okay, that's actually a really, really good error, because what that means is that we have connected to Firebase, and it's all worked except for we haven't enabled the ability to create a user from our Firebase end. So if we go back to our console and then we click authentication, you'll see sign in method and email and password is disabled. So this is what was throwing our error, which is really awesome again, because all we have to do is click enable. Don't click the second one and then click save. Let's refresh our page. And we're not getting an error, so that's good. If we go to users now, okay, and you're gonna see we have test@hotmail.com. So we have created a user. If we refresh our page, it should give us an error saying that user already exists. Yep, email address is already in use by another account. So now we can create an account. Obviously, doing it like this in the console isn't how we're going to do it when other people are able to use our site. But next, we're going to have to set up tools so that people can create their account themselves and log in themselves. So I'd just like to do a little bit of a recap, because this was a lot of information and you're probably a little bit confused. And I want to emphasize that that's okay, because we're doing a whole bunch of stuff. You don't need to know what all of it means. Just the more you tinker with this stuff, the more the better and more familiar you're going to get. So Firebase is a database. A database holds data that we can grab from. So for example, if you logged into like YouTube, for example, those YouTube videos were uploaded to a database so that now everybody can access them. So that's what Firebase is meant to be, is a database that holds data that everybody will be able to access. Because remember, if this like test.hotmail.com was just stored on your computer, then other people wouldn't be able to log in. So that's why we have this database. So we installed something called Angular Fire 2, which allows Angular, which is our programming front end, to connect to Firebase. We then created a service, and a service is used to connect to a database. That's basically what its purpose is. So we have this user auth service, and the reason we named it user auth is because Firebase calls it authentication and we're using users, so we just shortened it. And then we imported auth from Firebase. We actually don't need this line, it looks like, for now anyway. And so this code was provided by Firebase when we installed it, and they gave us this create user with email and password function, and we sent in the username and the password. And all of this code is handled by Firebase. We don't even know what the rest of the code does. It just works because we imported Firebase's stuff. And then this automatically gets called so I haven't even explained what a constructor is, I guess. Constructor just initializes everything and runs code inside of it as soon as the script has been initialized. So basically before user auth loads, it says, okay, we're going to do this. So this is basically like our setup is in our constructor. Now a service isn't called automatically. It has to be imported into a page. And our page that we're running off of right now is our minigames list. So we imported our service into our constructor. And because we did this, we basically said, okay, we're going to be using our service in this page, which automatically ran an instance of our service in this page and created a user with email and password. So hopefully, even if you don't understand necessarily what the code is doing, you can at least sort of understand what the project is doing right now. So that's sort of the goal here. So I hope you don't get too overwhelmed. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next section.